It's day 3 and we're heading to the Vatican. We're going to see the museum, St. Peter's Basilica, and Sistine Chapel, so come along. All right, so day 3, we're at the Vatican. We're a little bit delayed because they had an event going on, so we're kind of waiting in line. We had a reservation time at 9 o'clock, but they didn't open until 9, so they're holding us all in a queue right now. But anyway, looking forward to it. Ryan, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of just curious to see all the different aspects of the church here and kind of the history behind it, to get to see where kind of the church was based for a long time, or the Western Church at least, and kind of see all the different Catholic church beliefs and all the different things that the Vatican entails.
Yeah, and I was here 25 years ago, and it really kind of struck me as, you know, just this magnificent cathedral and the dome climb, and just looking over St. Peter's Plaza and stuff. So I'm really kind of looking forward to sharing that with my family and seeing what we do. Okay, back to you later. Just the scale of everything is just incredible here. So huge. The letters are supposedly 2 meters tall, so it kind of gives you a perspective of how big everything is that we're seeing here. There's an event going on, so a lot of it's blocked off compared to what we can normally get at. This whole center is blocked off, and up by St. Peter's tomb is kind of blocked off as well. You can still see quite a bit, and it's still pretty cool. It's just too bad that some of it's blocked off right now. It's possible to open up a little bit later, but I'm not sure if we'll still be here when it does. But you know, one of the things that's really pretty cool about the Vatican is just all the different paintings and pictures. And there's a lot of tombs as well. Some of them are actually glass tombs, and you see the people that are entombed there. One of them is pretty old, the other one's not quite as bad and not as old. But really just a lot to see, a lot to take in, and I think it's just a great place to come, whether you're religious or not, just to kind of see all the artifacts. You can kind of see how they have this event that they're kind of wrapping up here, and so this part of it is currently not accessible for us. Hopefully later, if we're still here, we'll have a chance to see it. But right now, even without that, it's still pretty good. You just don't get quite as close on some of these areas. But you can see you still have access to most of it, even with this event going on. All right, so we're on the top of St. Peter's right now. You can hear the bells ringing and the apostles up here. And so we're doing the dome climb. You don't have to go all the way up to the top of the dome. You can kind of come up here and take a look out. You can still see out into St. Peter's Plaza down there, and have a great view of Rome. So even if you don't want to climb all the way up to the top of the dome, it's worth a few euros to pay just to kind of come up here, and then you can also go see inside the dome without going all the way to the top. So if you don't like heights, this is probably not the spot for you. And if you are claustrophobic, climbing all the way to the top of the dome is also probably not for you. But it's still worth the price of the ticket just to kind of come up here and see this part, because you can really kind of see the dome up a lot closer. You kind of have a great view. Lots of mosaic around the edges here. And just really pretty cool. And then you don't have to do the extra part. You can get this far, get back down without kind of committing. Once you commit to the climb all the way up to the cupola, though, it's one way. You have to get all the way up there, and then you come down a different way, and it gets very narrow. So it's a little bit, I've done it once, and that was enough for me. I'm a little bit claustrophobic, so I don't want to try it again. But it's kind of an option. I think our kids are going to go do it. I think Heather and I are going to sit it out, though. So we'll have to report back and get some pictures from them. All right, we are here at the entrance of the Vatican Museum, getting ready to go see it. So despite having time ticket entry, it is very crowded in here. It's kind of bumper to bumper. A little bit hard to kind of stop and read and kind of go at your own pace. Yeah, very crowded, and just kind of hard to navigate through here. All right, so we are kind of in the map room, and to say it is crowded would be an understatement. It's just been wall-to-wall people as we kind of slowly make our way towards the Sistine Chapel. Now the roof here is really pretty cool. It has quite a few paintings, things like that. I think the roof is actually cooler than the walls on the side at this point. But we are crowded, we're kind of jammed in here, and just kind of making our way with everybody else as we walk down the corridor. Finally made it out of the museum. What'd you guys think, Ryan? What'd you think?
I thought it was really cool. I thought there was a lot of really interesting stuff. I thought some of it didn't really appeal to me necessarily, but I thought there was a lot that actually did. Definitely seeing some of those like Christian relics were cool.
Yeah, Jackson, how about you?
I thought it was right. It was a bit closed off. It was one path you had to take. Otherwise, I thought it was cool seeing some of that old stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought it was just too crowded, and the fact that you couldn't get out of the crowds and you had to kind of go the same path was tough. Like, I think probably after a half hour, 45 minutes, we were done, wanted to leave, and we just couldn't. We had to follow the path around and keep going the same way that they wanted you to go to kind of get out. It's definitely cool to see the Sistine Chapel, but definitely not a highlight for us. And I know Heather, definitely not a highlight either. So yeah, we're gonna head to some lunch now and go from there. We're here in Pasta Imperiale. Ryan and I ate here last night. It was really cool, so we thought we'd stop here on the way back from the Vatican. It's a different one. There's about 2 or 3 of them in town, but it's nice because it's like quick order pasta. You pick your pasta, pick your sauce, and it's really good and really quick, and so perfect for something on the go. Gets lots of really good reviews, but not really crowded, which is nice. The dining room is really small. You can kind of see we're just barely kind of crammed in here, and the kids are kind of sitting behind us here. But it works, and it's a great spot for lunch or a quick and easy dinner. All right, so we are wrapping up day 3 here in Rome, plus we're wrapping up our Rome trip. So today was pretty cool. We had a really nice dinner out. We wanted to stay pretty close to the Pantheon because that's where we were staying, and it just made it easier for Grammy to not have to walk too far. And we actually found a couple good places that were closed on Saturday night, which was surprising, but we did find a good spot, and it was one of our better meals of the trip. So one of the highlights for me, I think, was the food. It was just great to kind of have excellent food every meal. Some meals were better than others, but I think overall the food was absolutely outstanding. I loved seeing how my family just really got into things and enjoyed it, and had a great time, and everyone had a great time. So Jackson, what about you? What's one of the highlights?
I think, like you said, the food was really good. It was also cool just walking around, seeing everything. It's a big city. There's a lot to see. Getting out of town was nice. I'm definitely excited for the cruise now to relax a bit after such a long couple of days. So,
Yeah. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, so coming into the trip, I definitely thought some of my favorite things would be going to see the opera or the Vatican City today. And so I definitely think seeing those things were definitely, like they met their expectations. And they were really cool, really fascinating to see. But I think something that kind of caught me by surprise was some of the kind of shopping here in Italy. Definitely getting to, like, some of the clothing was really cool to see, and kind of just the authenticity, like true, like real leather belts, which are not common in the USA, where faux leather is very common. So definitely that was one thing that surprised me and that I really enjoyed. The food, obviously, amazing. So that's for me.
Yeah, I mean, a great trip so far. We're only through our first leg of the trip, and I think having the cruise now is going to be great to relax. So make sure you keep following along, and we're going to go through the cruise in the next couple videos. Thanks.